Everything that you need to know about starting a career in UI UX design in just one video. What is UI UX design? What are the different aspects of it? How can you get started? How much money can you expect to make once you become a UI UX designer? What are the different resources, videos, books that you can refer to so that you can start your UI UX journey and become really good at it in 2024. And I'll also be sharing with you a free course that will help you identify if UI UX design is the right career choice for you or not. From my 8 plus years of experience into designing, I'll also be sharing some quick tips, tricks that I have learned along the way. So let's get started. But before we do that, like this video and subscribe to the channel. So let's first understand what is UI UX design. UI UX design is the process of creating products that are easy to use, helps the user accomplish their goals, and also delightful for them to use. For example, if you're booking a cab on Uber, right? So from the point of you opening the app till the time you have taken the ride, everything in between on the app comes under user experience. Someone has spent their time into designing the every single touch point. While you are waiting for the cab, they show you different sort of messages, they give you the progress bar so that it becomes easy for you to wait that long time that it takes. So all of this where you're trying to help users do something, help them achieve a certain goal, and doing that delightfully comes under the process of UI UX design. It is an output of this UI UX designing process. And you have been interacting with work of UI UX design if you are using your mobile phone, if you are using your laptop, whether you are going to a website, whether you are using an app like Instagram or WhatsApp or any of the apps on your phone, you have been interacting with UI UX design all day long. But at the core of it, it is all about understanding human psychology, your user psychology, being empathetic towards what are the problems that they are facing, what kind of motivations do they have, and can you actually help them using your design. So keep testing it and making it better. As they say, everything is designed, some things are just designed well. So with that sorted, let's talk about different aspects of UI UX design. There are products that leave people frustrated, they are not happy with it, the look is not very good, the feeling is not very good while using them, while other products are delightful. They, when we use it, we don't have to use much of our brains, it is delightful, has beautiful animation, the copy resonates with us. So which one would you like more? Obviously, I'm sure the second one, right? And what makes it so? It is about different aspects coming together and making this product. So the first aspect that we are going to talk about is user research or UX research. It is a process of actually researching with people to figure out what are their core motivations, what are their capabilities, what are their frustrations, pain points, so that we can systematically solve them. So research can also be of two types, which could be primary or secondary, where in primary we are essentially talking to people directly or interacting with them directly through surveys or some other medium to figure out the problem or the things that we want to know from themselves. But there is secondary research as well, which is all about going through the resources, going through the articles, going through the research paper that already exists so that we can figure out the insights and take it to the next level so that we can make the products better, right? So research is very important because if we do not understand the problem correctly, we'll not be able to solve them. So this is something that you have to focus quite a lot on, whether you want to do primary research, whether you want to do secondary research, but do some research to figure out that what is it exactly that users are facing challenge with and how can you best solve it. The second aspect is called product thinking. Product thinking is an aspect where you are actually trying to create a product that helps the user but also makes sense for the business, right? So if there are certain things that will not help the user or the business, you might want to keep that in check. So this is a very crucial skill for any designer because whatever you are building for the users to solve their problem should also make sense for the business. And that's where the entire product thinking aspect comes into play. The third crucial aspect in the UI UX journey is wireframing. And this is very important because you have bunch of ideas in your head. How do you go from those ambiguous, not so clear ideas to actually something clear that, hey, this is how I'm going to make this design? And it is not about creating the design, it is actually putting those rough ideas on paper in just a device's mock-up, so that it is easy for someone to visualize, okay, you meant to solve, if I'll create a button, here will be the button, here will be the text field. So you create a basic idea of that on paper, so you go from having a fuzzy, not so clear idea to a clear idea. And that is wireframing. The fourth crucial aspect in this journey is UI design. UI design is all about the looks. It is about how do you create something that looks good, looks aesthetically pleasing, communicates something, and also has some emotional significance to it. So here you will use different elements of UI design. For example, colors, typography, images, gradients, shadows, and all those things to create something that looks beautiful to the eyes, communicates some value, and also makes user feel a certain way. So let's say if the payment has succeeded, you want to give a happy feeling. But what if it has failed? So you want to make it very clear just by looking at the screen that the payment has not gone through. So you don't have something to celebrate about. You have to give an alert, right? So that aspect of it is taken care of by UI design. The fifth crucial aspect would be motion design. How do you add micro animations? How do you add a bit of motion in the design so that it becomes delightful? It is not just static screens, but also all the motion transition from one place to another, or the buttons animation has some meaning to it. The sixth crucial aspect of UI UX design is usability testing, and it is all about whatever problem that you identified, you created a solution for it, you wireframed it, you created a UI design of it, you added motion, etc. But how do you know the way you have created it actually works for the users? So you go out with your prototype of the thing that you created, right? And prototype is nothing, just like, connection between screens so that people can test it out on their phone or the laptop. So you take this prototype, you go to the people and ask them to use it so that you can get some valuable feedback about what are the things they are able to understand, what are the things they feel like they can click on, and all those aspects, so that you can get valuable feedback and implement it so you can make the designs better. So there are some more aspects if you deep down into it, but these are six of the most crucial aspects. If you learn them, you will not go wrong. So now let's talk about how do you start your career in UI UX design. And I want to make it very clear that it is not about the education that you have had, what sort of degree that you have. It is more about the skills and your portfolio. I did not go to a design college. I don't have a design degree, but I have still worked with the best companies in India as well as throughout the world. While a design degree can be helpful, but a lot of successful designers do not have a design degree. They actually come from engineering, graphic design, economics, architecture as the thing that they studied. It is because UI UX design is about creativity and problem solving, and a lot of these fields miss that. The growing popularity of UI UX design amongst the candidate is also increasing because it is very close to technology, IT, information technology, but it still doesn't require any technical or coding knowledge to begin with. A big question that might come to your mind, that big companies like Facebook, Zomato, Swiggy, Razorpay, would these companies hire me if I don't have a degree? The answer is, if you have the skills and the right portfolio, they will, because a lot of designers in these companies are self learned and they don't have actually a degree from a design college. They might have done some boot camp, some small courses, some cohort based courses, but they have not been to a traditional design school to get a degree. So now let me share with you the step by step process of what skills should you be learning in what order, so that you can apply for that internship or job very soon. So the first skill that you should start with is by learning the tool. And for learning the tool, there were a lot of tools if you talk about 5 6 years back, but now the entire industry is using just one tool, and that is Figma. So you should actually start by learning Figma. There are a lot of tutorials that are available on YouTube, as well as you can check out. We have a course on it that you can totally check out. It will be in the description. So you should start learning the basics of Figma. Just start by creating the design. Start learning it today, because it will take you a long time to actually practice it and get better at it. So sooner you start creating the mockups, sooner you start creating the designs, you will get better with that. And a pro tip that I want to share with you is just take a design from Dribble, Pinterest, or any screenshot from your mobile that you have taken from any app or website, and just try to replicate it. Just try to create the same. And while you do that, just ask yourself, why did the designer take a certain decision? For example, why this color? Why this sort of button? Why there is roundness in some button but not in other designs? Why this particular shadow? Why this particular layout? So while you are also learning how to use the tool to create the design, you're also trying to understand what these designers who have created these awesome designs have thought. And you are actually trying to learn that by observing, right? And observing is a fine skill for a UI UX designer. So the first thing that you should learn is learn the tool. And in our case, this is one tool that is called Figma. So the second step in this journey is to actually find problems and solve them, because in the end, UI UX designers are problem solvers, right? So what you have to do is take any app that you use, take it to some people, do some usability testing, ask them to do a certain task, and while they're doing it, ask them to speak out loud. While they'll be doing it, some things might not be clear to them, some things they will not understand, some experiences that they might mention that this happened, that happened, and you will figure out that they were not able to do something, or they were not able to do something effectively. Now all you have to do is to come up with a solution that solves this problem, and that is your first step towards learning to identify the problem and also to solve that, right? And this is where, like, the entire thing of identifying the problem, documenting the process you took to solve it, and eventually creating the case study comes in picture. But we'll talk more about that. So now let's talk about step number 3. In this, you will talk to the users to figure out what sort of problems they are facing, challenges they have. And you'll not try to understand by asking them directly, hey, what problem you are facing, but you'll try to understand about their life, their work, where they are spending a lot of time, where they are spending a lot of their money. And that's where you'll find a problem that you can solve. And once you have figured that out, you just have to create some rough sketches to, like, do wireframing, create a visual design out of it, prototype it, and essentially test it back with them, so that you can understand if the solution works or not, right? By doing this, you will also create a case study. This, if you document this entire process, that will be your first case study, the concept case study, but the first case study. And a concept case study is nothing but you are taking a hypothetical problem, a problem that you have observed around them. It is not having any business use case, and you just try to solve it for those people by creating some design. And once you have solved this, you will create a prototype, like we have talked about it. You will do usability testing, you will document this process as well, and just make changes to your design, so that you can show that you have learned from the users and made changes to it. The fourth step in this process is to create a portfolio. And portfolio is nothing but the collection of all the work that you have done. So the problems that you have solved, the process that you have applied, you'll just create different projects out of it. And how do you choose the project? So choose the best 3. If you have more than 3 projects, just choose the best 3. And if you do not, then just put the 3 works that you have done, and that should be it. You can ideally document it on your website, but actually doing it on Notion or a Medium helps too. So just gives you more creative space to just put all the things that you have looked as a problem, what processes you followed, what was the final outcome, and you can document it on Medium or Notion. The fifth and the final step in this journey would be to start applying for jobs and internship. So what you would ideally do is you will actually reach out to the hiring managers saying that, hey, this is my portfolio. I'm just trying to get into the industry. I really want to work with you for XYZ reasons. Here's what I'm good at, and here's what I'm trying to learn. And some of them will reach out to you, give you an assignment, and figure out if they want to work with you. So ideally, this is the 5-step process that you can follow to start from learning the tool to actually applying using your portfolio. So now that we have talked about the 5-step process and you have understood it, I just want to mention that it is not as easy as it sounds, because there will be multiple things that you want to learn. You want to actually like start preparing your portfolio, start applying. So not everyone might be able to do it on their own. So actually enrolling in a good course might help, because a good course will give you a structured process, like how do you actually start, what do you do next, what do you do next. There will be a set curriculum that you can follow along, and like you can also get a community feeling because there are other learners who are just like you trying to learn. And you'll also get a mentor in most cases who can actually help you from their own experience of working in the industry, right? So if self learning is becoming hard for you and this is something where you want to get increase your chances of success, you might want to consider a course where you can learn these things with some peers from a mentor that has actually some experience. But remember what I said in the beginning, that design skill and this craft can take you years to learn, right? And you cannot expect that you'll get good at it in weeks. Even with the course, it will take you months to actually get really good at it, right? So have the right expectation with the course, that the course is only going to give you some resources and everything, mentorship, guidance along the way, and it will shorten it 2 months, but it will still be there and you only have to put efforts into it, right? So if that expectation is clear with the course, do enroll for a course and prefer a cohort based course. That might help you more because the learning environment is much better. So now you might be saying that this seems like a lot of work. Is there enough upside to it? Would I be making a lot of money to actually do that? So let me tell you, it is a lot of work. It is going to take a lot of practice, hard work, but there is upside to it. So let's talk about what can you expect to earn once you become a UI UX designer, right? So based on the Zeta survey of Indian designer salary, I'll just tell you that how much you can expect to make. So if you are in this journey, you are a beginner, 0 to 2 years of experience, so you could be making anywhere 7 to 8 lakhs. If you are like, let's say, talking about Bangalore or Mumbai as a city, this can be slightly higher because the cost of living is higher. So you can expect anywhere between 7 to 8 lakh rupees an annum as a beginner. But if you become slightly more experienced, where you have 2 to 5 years of experience, you can expect to make 10 lakhs to 12 lakhs or even 14 lakhs as a salary. And if you are like obviously in Mumbai, Bangalore, where the cost of living is slightly higher, you could be getting paid like 14 lakhs per annum as well. But once you have spent 5+ years in the industry, you could be making more than 20 lakhs per annum. And that's where the game gets serious. And you could be making much more. This is just the average salary that I'm talking about, and this just gets better, and the satisfaction to actually build something awesome gives you more joy, according to me. So this can help. But cracking a job with high pay is all about your skills, your proven experience by that time, and your portfolio, because that actually reflects the kind of work that you have done and what sort of skills you have. So focus on building the skills, building the right portfolio first. Now that we have discussed all of these things, let's talk about some of the resources, tutorials, books, etc. that can help you. So I want to actually give you a course that can help you build some foundation. This will not help you get superbly good at it or get a job, but actually help you build foundation. It is the Google UX design certification. Very basic level stuff, but actually help you build the foundations of it. If you feel like it is made by Google and Coursera as a collaboration thing. So you should check that out. Link will be in the description. I'll also put some other courses that I would like to recommend you in the description below, so you can check that out. You should also be looking at some of the books, reading, because those will build the design foundations for you, which is going to be first would be The Design of Everyday Things by Don Norman. It is one of the very important books that you can get your hands onto. It talks about the entire design, the three phases of design. How do you actually create something that is beautiful, easy to use, also like something that has the appeal to it. The second book that you should look at is Talking to Humans, because it explains to you why UX research is important, why talking to people is important, and how can you get started with it. So one of the greatest books that I recommend, it's a very small read, 70 pages odd book that you can essentially pick up, finish it in a few hours, but the learnings will stay with you forever. The third book that you should be looking at is Don't Make Me Think by Steve Krug. It is one of the best usability books, not usability testing, but usability design book, that how do you make products that are more usable, better to understand by the people. And this book will change the game for you. I'll also put some more recommendations, which are, according to me, the books that every UX designer should read, in the description below, and you can check them out. I'll also attach some of the YouTube channels which are doing a great job at teaching UX design, so you can refer that if you feel like it. Remember that in UX design, the learning never stops, because the technology field is evolving. There are always newer problems, better technology to solve them. So how can you learn this technology to use it in your design, so that you can craft better solutions for the people? So learning for a UX designer never stops. So always keep learning. So if you are interested in making a career in UI UX design, and it could be because the opportunity is immense, it could be because you like the work or the roles and responsibility of a UI UX designer, or you want to be making as much money as a UI UX designer does, then you should spend some time actually just exploring the field. What this person does, what are the roles and responsibility, what are the skills that are needed, who this person works with, what are the success metrics like. Because the opportunities are a lot, people do make a lot of money, grow a lot, but on a flip side, not a lot of designers does. So if you're going to spend 6-8 months into learning this, you should spend at least 3 weeks to understand these all aspects of it. And to help you do that, I have created an absolutely free 90 minutes course which will help you decide if this is the right career for you. It will talk all about the roles and responsibility, the differences, everything that you need to know before you jump in, so that you can make a more aware and conscious choice that what you are signing up for. So you can get that course for absolutely free from the description as well as in the first comment. That was all about UI UX design in this video. If you have any questions about UI UX design and how to make a career in it, do post them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out all the resources and the free course in the description down below. All the very best for your journey to become a UI UX designer in 2024. Keep learning, keep growing, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, happy designing.